YouTube, what's going on, guys? My name is Travis and I want to thank you for tuning back in to another TDH upload. Today's video we're going to be unboxing and installing my brand new Garmin EchoMap 64 CV. Now I picked this up from West Marine about 3 weeks ago. They had an awesome sale. They had it listed for $299.99 and I want to say I paid $320 out the door for this unit. It is a 6-inch screen. It is non-touch screen, but I'm not worried about any of that fancy stuff. I just need something to help me in unfamiliar and uncharted waters. Now, if you're new to the channel, I would suggest you jump back about 4 or 5 uploads and check out the 1998 Carolina Skiff, I guess, build series or like restoration or saving it series. I got this for free off of Marketplace. I jumped through all the bureaucratic loopholes to get it registered and legal here in the state of Florida. And July 4th was the first day that I actually got to take it out with my friends and enjoy it. And ever since then, I've just been out ripping it. I've been all over downtown Jacksonville, all over the rivers. And I'm starting to get that hair to go out into some unfamiliar or uncharted waters. So this chart plotter and depth finder or sonar combo unit is really going to be an awesome feature to this vessel. So I would suggest you jump back, check those uploads out, and I need to shut up and we need to get this thing open and check it out. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this quick, this unboxing here. I'm gonna open her up and have a look at her for the first time. I have yet to even open this box up. Been saving this just for YouTube. I am excited, very excited. Here she is. Want to be careful with her. My luck, I know I'm gonna drop her or something. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice and clean, nice and thin, very lightweight, very lightweight. Awesome. Keep that on there for now. We're not gonna mess with that. I'm actually gonna step her back in. Okay, cool. So it looks like we've got our dimensions on how to install it and where to drill it if we want to put that on a center console. You also get a free sticker, which is awesome. I love stickers. Pay all that money, I better get a sticker, right? All right, here's the provided cable for it. And then the provided bracket that it sits on. And looks like more of the wiring harness, another mount for it. And then the transducer itself with the harness and its attachment. The rest of it is just instructions, and I'm sure my warranty paperwork is going to be in here. All right, first things first, I'm probably going to be making a mount for it. Let's bring you over to the boat and show you that. Okay, so I obviously captained the boat from this back seat here, being that it's a tiller handled outboard. I hope you guys like my sticker there. Well, what was my sticker because it fell off. Bastard. Anyways, we're going to be installing it in these 2 holes here. These holes were originally for a lifting point. The company that owned this vessel before me, they lifted it in and out of the water. And you'll see the 2 holes here, 2 holes over there, and where I actually cabestilled and filled these 2 holes in the bow. Same thing over there. They actually had a crane point, lifted it all up. So I'm going to take advantage of these holes back here because obviously they are still open and exposed to the elements. So what I'm going to do is make a mount from here, and I'd like to have something that comes up, follows along the gunnel, and I'd like it to be able to swivel. So we'll see what we end up doing with that. But if it can come up and then bend out, maybe on a 45, and kind of just keep the chart plotter right around here, because I sit in the middle, and if I'm not in the middle, I'm offset to the starboard side, mainly because I till and control it with my left hand, and it's just easier for me to be able to swing out all the way to the port side and then swing back into me on the starboard side to get it to steer. And I'm thinking that's going to be the best point to mount it. Mounting it here with these existing holes and building this bracket allows me to pull it back off when I am done with this mounting point. And when I do get a center console for the actual vessel, I'll be mounting it on the actual center console itself and then trying to retain all the harnessing and everything that I've built for it. So that is the game plan. That's what we're going to end up doing. I do have some material on hand. I've got some 1-inch aluminum tubing over there, 5000 series, and I've got some plating. So what I'm thinking about is cutting out a plate on my CNC table and then building a little arm with a swivel, welding that upright to another arm, and then having another 45 or 90 degree bend and then possibly plating it on the top, mounting the plate there, and then putting our actual Garmin mount on the plate. So that is the overall game plan, and we need to get to work. So to start the project off, I cut out this 1 3/8 piece to 4 inches. It's got an 1/8 inch wall, so I'm going to add this 1/4 inch piece of plate here. I just cut it out from a piece of scrap that I had kicking around. I'm gonna go ahead and weld this all the way around 360, and then we'll drill and tap it for a 3/8-16 zinc coated bolt. And then I'm gonna weld a little tab to this guy so that way it can cinch it down. And this will get sleeved. This has a 1 inch inner diameter, 1 1/16 or so. But the 1 inch fits in here perfectly. Let me grab a piece for you. So here's this 1 inch pipe. It sleeves in there perfectly. Got a little bit of play. So what I'm gonna do is tap this out so that way this bolt can sit down on it, and that way it can lock it in place and allow it to still swivel. So I'm gonna go ahead and burn that guy on real quick, and then we'll make the base plate for the boat. Okay, I cut me a piece of flat bar, 2x5. Marked out my hole locations, 1 inch off from the outer edge, 1 inch on the outside edge of the hole. I'm gonna go ahead and drill this now. right, pretty well lined up there. Now we can go ahead and mark out our center for our 1-inch upright. Get that cut down and get that welded on. All right, I got my sleeve cut down and in place. We just need to go ahead and clamp it down. All right, that guy's all welded up. And this guy will be sitting down on it like this so. I left a little bit of space so that way I can put a cap on this. And this will allow it to swivel. It can be tightened up, obviously. I'll probably weld a tab on that, or maybe even a wrench, just because I can. But that'll lock it in place, prevent it from twisting. Then you can break it free, spin it whatever way you want it. Boom, good to go. And now I'm gonna weld my elbow opposite side of the mount, or the lock. So it'll sit out here. Or actually, I might do it like this. So that way it's inside towards me with the handle facing outward, or with the GPS facing outward, and then I can swivel it inward towards me, outwards away from me, and that'll be centered. Cool. Alright guys, I apologize. I got a little ahead of myself. I had put my phone on the charger, and I ended up going ahead and bending this out. I don't have a bender here in my shop at the very moment, so all I did was just heat it up with the butane torch, clamp it down to the table, and bent it over the radius of the hammer. You can see it's got a little bit of a kink to it on the backside, but it's nothing that really is going to bother me. Just something to get the GPS mounted. So at the very moment, as you guys can see, I've got the arm lined up. I've got it notated where I wanted it on the mount. I'm going to go ahead and tack it up real quick. Once it's tacked up, I'm going to go ahead and set it on the boat, and then sit back down in the boat and see how I like it. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of let myself down and got a little head. I didn't film this section, but I cut this out on the CNC table. This is gonna be the mount for the actual Garmin. I will show you guys in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and tack it up in place. and then we will go from there. Alright, we have the plate mounted up. I'm letting it cool off for just 1 second before I set the plastic piece on there. I think it needs to come up just a tad bit more though. I don't want to break the tack, I gotta be very careful. Okay, since I let you down on cutting out this part for the Garmin, I'm gonna take you along on this real quick here. Sorry, I moved the phone there. Let me go ahead and just put you guys on a time lapse real quick so that way I don't have to hold this and I don't have to adjust it when I edit it. So let's just set you guys right here and throw it on a time lapse. So basically what I'm doing is just taking my cardboard template, transferring it to the computer, scaling it on the CAD program, and then drawing it up. As you guys can see, we're making this little gusset. And we're going to cut it out on the CNC table right after we're done. Got to trim this backside. I was going to fold it over, but I think it might be just too much of a headache. I'll probably just round that corner out and put a weld there. Cleaned up. I'm going to be tacking it right here. I'm going to attempt to just fuse tack this. Hopefully I don't blow out the corner. I'm pissed. Alright, with that out of the way, I just went ahead and did another cardboard template. You guys can see it's going to sit here. I'll weld along the face of it, this corner, the top side, and then down the face. And then the inside I'll leave exposed and open, just so that way I can run my wires and stuff down under there. But we'll do the same process with this. I'll draw this up, cut this on the table. I won't show you any of that stuff because you guys have seen it already. But we'll fit that in here somewhere, probably up here, I don't know, somewhere around here. Fit that in there, cut it out, and then tack it up. Alright guys, there she is all welded out. Yeah, gotta let it cool down, and then we can mount the GPS on it and see how it looks. Alright, alright, alright. There we have it. Very happy with the overall outcome. I think it looks killer. Got the nice mount here. Again, I'm going to put a cap on this so you won't see that. Guess it does look a little funny with the squish there, but oh well. Perfect excuse to buy a JD squared. Alright. So I can swivel it, obviously, depending on where I'm standing. Or if I'm standing up, I can obviously swivel the screen when I stand up and, you know, stand the screen up a bit. But I think it'll be right around here somewhere. Put the cover off of it. Hell yeah. That's sharp. I'm pretty happy with the overall outcome. We got this guy here. We can break this loose. Like I said, I'm gonna weld something to it. Figured a wrench would be a cool idea, but it's gonna be in the way. I'll swing this out of my way if I'm getting up, moving all around, or, you know, say I need to come back here to my cleat, get my fender or my line or whatever. It's out of the way. Or I can pull it in if I'm close to something, or if I'm sitting on the far side. You know, if I'm sitting over here, I can pull it in. It can be right there. So it's got lots of adjustability. I think I'm gonna be pretty happy with it sitting right around here, kind of parallel with the gunwale of the boat. Probably right around there. I think that'll be good, guys. This is going to wrap up part 1 of this video. We've got the mount most of the way done. I'd say about 90%. I'm very happy with the overall finish. I'm gonna add probably a gusset down here on the lower section, just on the main upright to the actual arm, just to help with any vibrations and bouncing and stuff, you know, when we're underway, you know, skipping across the water, and, you know, when we're actually on plane and bouncing and stuff. So I'm gonna figure out all of that nonsense once I actually go out underway and, you know, take it out and use it. Then I'll be able to sort out the kinks. Oh yeah, I don't like how, you know, this mounts, or the way that this thing swivels, or, you know, it's too loud, or I need rubber bushings, whatever it may be. I'll figure all that stuff out once I go out underway. But as of right now, I'm very, very happy with the overall finish. I'm very happy with the way that it came out. I'm gonna get some Scotch-Brite, and I'll go ahead and polish this up when we're all done and get it all pretty looking. And then I may end up drilling a hole in the backside and then capping it off over here on the front side, because it is open. My game plan was to run the wires down and around, but I think it might look a little goofy with the wires sticking out. So I may put a drill hole down here, or, you know, a couple holes where I can run all the wires down, and then maybe drill a hole in the backside so that way they can come out and come down below my seat. We'll figure something out. That will be in part 2 when we actually get to install all the harness, the transducer, drill into the transom, all of that fun jazz. So aside from that, guys, I don't have much else for you. I do appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have enjoyed the upload, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. I greatly, greatly appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Later.